All right, so I'm just going to tell you guys a little bit about how I got started making art, and um, and then how this event came about. So um, so 3 years ago, I was a contractor and remodeled houses, and at the time, I hadn't made a piece of art in my life. Um, I was doing a lot of tile work and wooden trim work and stuff like that. So I had the I had all the tools that I needed to make these, and a lot of the knowledge that I needed. I'm going to turn this so that I can see it too. So I've got a couple pieces. The mount hood is the first piece that I made, and that one uh, that one I made as a present for my wife, and um, so at the time I was 70 pounds heavier than I am now, and I was in a lot of pain from failed hand surgery and bad back, and so doing construction long term wasn't gonna be something that I was gonna be able to do, and so I was looking for something else. I was looking for something else that I could do, that I could use my skills that I had, and so when I was towards the end of my remodeling career, uh, the last job that I did was working for a friend in Sun River doing trim work, and so while I was down there off and on for several months, and I got to use their bikes and rode bikes and hiked and trails, and I started eating differently. I eat a plant-based diet now, and I was able to stop taking all my prescription medication and treat my um, treat everything with herbs and natural remedies. And so it's almost like that changed my brain, and I started thinking differently. And I started I had the idea of putting a piece of wood on an actual picture, just to have something bump it out and to show more depth and more texture, and that vision just kept growing to where everything. And when I would look at things, I would picture it out of wood, and um, and so when I made the first piece for my wife for Christmas, it was a pretty big hit. She really liked it, and her friends liked it, and so I'd been rushed on it, or well, Christmas was on the 25th, and so it I felt like I didn't have enough time, and so when I was done with it, I thought, well, I'd like to do another one that I had more time, and so the next piece that I made was another mount hood, and I took it to my men's group to show some of my friends, and they all thought that it was really good, and said that I should be in a gallery. So the next day I took it around, and I was going to go to all the different galleries and just see if anybody agreed with them. And the very first gallery that I went into was Aurora Gallery in Vancouver, and um, Elizabeth, the owner, she really liked it and wanted to feature me the following month, and wanted me to make 5 more pieces. So, um, so I ended up making 5 pieces, and was featured in the gallery for their art walk, and for that month, and that was kind of that was the start of it, of being able to I kind of proved to myself that I could make 5 pieces that were all different. Um, and so since then, I feel like I've just been experimenting with what's possible, what can I do, and having awesome customers that are willing to trust me that I'll be able to deliver on what I say that I'm going to make. And a lot of times it's something that I've never done, but I'm confident that I can do it. And so it's really been kind of cool to just to push myself and to experiment. So this tactile event, it was spurred by it was in June of this year, so several months ago, that I was at Esther Shore Park at the Recycled Art Festival, and I had a mom with her blind daughter come up and ask if they could feel the painting, and they did, and it was amazing. And after that, I thought, well, I'd like to have somebody else feel it, because that was really cool. And it was something that it was unexpected, because I didn't make my art thinking that it was going to be tactile for people to feel. And so since then, I feel like all the art that I've made, I've kind of looked at it a little bit differently, because I'm looking at it thinking of what it's going to feel like when somebody touches it, as well as what it's going to look like. And so all of the art that I've done since then has been a little bit more exaggerated and more bumped out and more texture. This is the first portrait that I've made, and I have gotten quite a few requests for people wondering if I could make people, and since I hadn't, I didn't have any proof that I could do it. So kind of felt like if I did it, then kind of 2 reasons. One, I could show that I could make a person, and then 2, that for this event, that blind people could be able to feel and know that I wear glasses and I have a beard and whatnot. I'm excited to be able to make other people. I don't know. I mean, I'd like to make maybe blazers, or make somebody, something like that. Maybe like Bill Walton or Clyde Drexler or something. Yeah. Other things that I have, ideas that I have, or things that I'm working on. I've been wanting to make a Multnomah Falls out of the wood from the Eagle Creek fire, and so I have some chunks of that I got as firewood that I'm going to be cutting that into pieces and hopefully making a big Multnomah Falls out of it. Welcome, you guys. I'm going to look at my notes really quick and see what else I have written down that I wanted to talk about for sure. Sorry, I'm not a professional talker. Okay, so my art, when I'm making it, I'm using old reclaimed wood, and then I paint it, and then I distress the wood to make it look old again, and so that was kind of inspired by Disneyland, believe it or not, because I was at Disneyland and saw them making repairs to something, and they were distressing it so that it didn't look brand new. And that was when I was a kid. I remember seeing that, and it stuck with me apparently that things that it's harder to make something look old than it is to make it look brand new. And so I was really impressed with that. And so that's kind of what I'm going for my art. And so when I'm making it, I want it to look like it's been touched a million times. And so that's kind of why this event is perfect. It feels great, that people can touch it, and I want it to look like it's been touched. So it's a good thing. I'm super thankful for Portland Art Museum for partnering with me on this. It was really unexpected that they reached out to me and said that they'd like to partner with me to help put this on. So I'm super grateful for the art museum, and Becky Emmert has done a wonderful job helping to make this happen. So I think that some of the best advice that I got when I started my art career was before I was going to my first show, and I was pretty anxious about it and worried about if things were going to sell or if people were going to like it, or and I had a friend, and he said don't think about selling things or all that, just think about that one person that you're going to meet. And so I've had that mentality going into every show, that I'm going to meet one person, and that's going to be who I'm here to meet. And so it really, it helps to take off that pressure, and it makes things more fun. So that was the rest of my notes. So I don't know if anybody has any questions. Yeah.
Do you have any more exhibits planned in the near future? Because Christmas is coming up, and we talked about making smaller items and such.
Right. So the question is if I have other events planned, and right now the next event that I'm planning is it's not until February. So I don't have anything before Christmas. So yeah.
Are you going to make a portrait of your wife?
A portrait of my wife? I haven't talked to her about that. I'll talk to her about it. Okay, yeah.
Are those, because I haven't actually felt that yet.
Okay.
Are those little strings made of wood?
Yes, they are.
Wow.
Yeah.
You did an amazing job on that.
Thanks.
How many different types of wood are in that piece?
Okay, so I'll tell you what they are. So the beard is from an 1890s barn that was the oldest standing barn in Clark County, and my friend John Siebert gave me that wood. So everything that's skin tone was the old Les Schwab from downtown Camas, and that's where. So my parents used to have a 12-passenger van, and it always was needing alignment work and was wearing out tires. And so I remember as a kid always going into that place and having our van worked on. The hair I'm not really sure what it is. It was a block that I kind of inherited with some other blocks, some other wood that I got. But it's like 2-inch thick solid oak. The glasses was a block of wood that I got from a wood recycler, a local wood recycler that when I went in looking for the scraps that they weren't utilizing, they said, "Well, we just throw them all in the dumpster." So I went in the dumpster and found a bunch of blocks, and it wasn't a dumpster like a garbage dumpster. It was kind of a dumpster like a wood dumpster.
Basically a giant wood bin.
Basically, yeah. It was like a wood store. I think that's all the wood that I know where it's from that's on it. So yeah. Okay, yeah.
Because I loved what you said about making a connection with one person.
Yeah.
Because I struggle with that as
Yeah.
an artist. We were talking about that earlier. What tips, do you have any tips for someone like that might be struggling like to make a living as an artist
Yeah.
and to take the pressure off
Right, right. Um, for me, I took the pressure off of myself initially that was what I was gonna do for a living, and I felt like if it wasn't meant to be, that we wouldn't work, and so so it was like, well, I'm gonna try and see if I can make this work, and so I really wasn't worried about failing, because if I failed, then I was gonna just do something different.
I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I have a question.
Okay.
I was kind of curious why you don't have like a teleprompter like the president has.
That might be helpful.
Somebody holding up
A cue card, yeah.
I'll do it for you, but they'd probably be backwards.
Right? Upside down. Uh, okay, so. Oh, yeah.
You've done a lot of the landscape, the Crater Lake and Mount Hood. And
Yeah,
And now, I've seen you've done those animals.
right.
And now your self-portrait.
Yeah.
What different approaches do you take to do a landscape versus, an animal or
Yeah.
a person?
I think it's the same approach. So, I start with a picture. So, I try to find just the right picture that I could visualize that picture being a wooden painting. And so, just thinking through, like, when I was looking for the picture for the Mount Hood, like, it was really similar to looking through my pictures trying to find the portrait of me. Yeah. Sorry.
So if somebody
Yeah.
just brought a picture to you, that doesn't necessarily translate into wood, does it?
It doesn't. Yeah. I've had people want a certain thing, like a certain mountain or a certain glacier, and ended up looking through other pictures to try to find a better angle of it, or a better time of day with the better shadows, or something that would translate well. Yeah. Yeah. So I've thought about that about people. Like, if somebody brings me a picture that's, this picture here was not the best picture. Like, halfway through it, I wished I'd used a different picture. And, part of it was just because of the shadows, and it was just like, man, why couldn't I have just taken it straight on to where, so, I'm happy with how it turned out, but, so I think that I could make, if somebody brought me a picture and they only had one picture of their grandma or of somebody, I think that I could make it work. So I guess it's more about just getting the ideal picture, to make it easier to make, maybe. So, yeah, I think that's it. Thank you for coming. Okay.